Inflation is an economic phenomenon that occurs when the general price level of goods and services increases over time. The impact of inflation on the economy can be significant, and there are several factors that can cause it. These factors include excessive government spending, increasing demand for goods and services, and changes in supply chain logistics. The first impact of inflation on the economy is a reduction in purchasing power. This means that people have to pay more money to buy the same goods and services they used to buy before. As a result, the standard of living for people who do not receive corresponding increases in their income can decrease. This can lead to an overall decrease in consumer spending, which can further slow down the economy. Another impact of inflation on the economy is an increase in the cost of living. As the prices of goods and services increase, people's savings lose purchasing power. This can lead to a decrease in the standard of living, as people will be able to buy fewer goods and services with the same amount of money. This can further exacerbate the issue, as people may have to cut back on their spending, leading to a decrease in demand for goods and services. Inflation can also have a negative impact on investment. When the value of money is decreasing, people are less willing to invest their money. This can lead to a decrease in economic growth and development. Additionally, inflation can lead to uncertainty, as it is difficult to predict the future prices of goods and services. This can lead to a decrease in business investment and planning, which can slow down economic growth even further. Another impact of inflation on the economy is a reduction in international competitiveness. As the price of goods and services increases, a country's exports become relatively more expensive than those of other countries. This can lead to a decrease in demand for the country's exports and a decrease in its economic growth. Inflation can also lead to currency devaluation, which can make imports more expensive and further reduce the competitiveness of the country's exports. To get rid of inflation, there are several methods that can be used. One common method is monetary policy. The central bank can use monetary policy to control inflation by increasing interest rates, which reduces the money supply and decreases demand for goods and services. This can lead to a decrease in the inflation rate, but it can also lead to a decrease in economic growth and development. Additionally, monetary policy may not be effective in controlling inflation in the long term. Another method for controlling inflation is fiscal policy. The government can use fiscal policy to control inflation by reducing government spending or increasing taxes. This can lead to a decrease in demand for goods and services, which can reduce the inflation rate. However, it can also lead to a decrease in economic growth and development. Additionally, fiscal policy can be politically challenging, as people may not want to see their taxes increased or government services reduced. Supply-side policies can also be used to control inflation. These policies aim to increase the supply of goods and services, which can lead to a decrease in the inflation rate. This can be achieved by reducing barriers to entry for businesses, increasing investment in infrastructure, and increasing education and training for workers. While these policies can be effective in the long term, they may take time to have an impact. Another method for controlling inflation is indexing. Indexing adjusts wages, prices, or taxes to inflation, so they increase or decrease accordingly. This can help to reduce the impact of inflation on people's purchasing power and can reduce the uncertainty associated with inflation. However, indexing can also lead to a decrease in economic growth, as it can reduce the incentives for businesses to invest and innovate. In conclusion, inflation can have significant impacts on the economy, including a reduction in purchasing power, an increase in the cost of living, a negative impact on investment, a reduction in international competitiveness, and uncertainty. To control inflation, there are several methods that can be used, including monetary policy, fiscal policy, supply-side policies, wage and price controls, and indexing. Each method has its advantages and disadvantages, and it is essential to use a combination of methods to control inflation effectively. To get rid of inflation with the least damage, policymakers must strike a balance between reducing inflation and maintaining economic growth and development. Policies that prioritize one over the other can lead to unintended consequences and may do more harm than good. Additionally, policymakers must communicate their actions and their rationale to the public to build support and trust in their policies. Ultimately, controlling inflation requires a coordinated effort from policymakers, businesses, and individuals. Everyone must work together to reduce the factors that cause inflation and to adopt policies and practices that promote economic growth and development while maintaining stable prices. With the right policies and actions, inflation can be controlled and the economy can continue to grow and prosper.